So this is the video that's finally supposed to prove that Charlie Kirk is a racist.
Shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
That's your explanation, but
racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
Black America is worse than it has been
that affected
in the last 80 years.
The generational psyche of an entire group of people?
No, I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that.
So that's got a lot of views on Instagram. Someone sent that to me on Facebook. So this gentleman believes this video proves that Charlie Kirk said that slavery was better for us, talking about black people. If you use that clip or any of these out of context clips to make such a claim, you are trash. You are trash. You're either doing it because one, you are shamelessly dishonest, or the other reason could be you are so gullible and ignorant that you would see something. It doesn't even start at the beginning of a sentence. You just kind of have to trust the assertions of the person who clipped the video, because it doesn't even really say that in that snippet. You have to kind of wish that it says that thing and be filled with such ignorance and hatred toward Charlie that you just kind of come to that conclusion. What I would advise people to do, especially because Jubilee loves to just ding for copyright, screw fair use. So I would advise you all to actually go to YouTube and watch the segment of Charlie Kirk debating 25 liberals or something like that, college liberals. And at the very last portion of the video, he has like a 10-minute debate with that woman, that young woman. The claim was that affirmative action is constitutional. And they mostly debated about the plight of black communities and what was it that made such a dramatic change as far as our economic outcomes and crime rates and things like that. So Charlie actually believes that black people are made in the image of God, and there is nothing inherently evil or violent or unintelligent about black people. But as far as some of these outcomes, he's trying to find a reason why they appeared the way that they did. And so he thinks that there's cultural explanations. So he thinks one of the reasons, one of his theories, was fatherless homes. And another reason he thinks there's bad outcomes is because he thinks social welfare is a bit of a blunder. Now, before you throw your panties in a twist about the social welfare stuff, I just want to point out to you that there are eugenicists that were in levers of power, and they knew things like a minimum wage, for example, would actually disadvantage different groups that they didn't like. And there was a man by the name of Royal Meeker who knew that it would actually lead to the unemployment of certain people. But he thought that was good because if you were on the government teat, then you could be controlled. When you're not depending on all these different things from the government, you have more liberty and freedom for yourself and your family. You can be controlled when you need the government. So I don't want to disparage people who really need some kind of assistance or on some kind of assistance, but I just want to let you know that it was a plot to control you. And that's like documented. So before you come for Charlie, just understand the history of the things that you're fighting so hard for. And as far as poor outcomes from fatherless homes, are we really gonna like argue that not having a 2-parent household or not having dads in your homes is a bad thing? His opponent, I think her name is Naima, she tried to make the claims that like systemic racism type of stuff is the reason why Black Americans aren't doing well. So she would say things like, well, don't you agree that we are worse off in Jim Crow era? And Charlie would say, like, economically, like, that's not the case. Like, per capita, you're actually doing worse today. And she agreed with those points. People were calling him a racist over things that she agreed about. But that clip that's at the end where people are saying, oh, this proves that Charlie Kirk said that black people were better off in slavery. Let's look a little bit farther back.
When you are put in an environment that promotes and reinforces social and economic inequality. You become desperate and are forced to do things.
So she's the one who's making the claim that all these years of systemic racism is the reason why there's so much crime and poverty among Black people. And Charlie Kirk doesn't think that makes sense because Black people have obviously been in worse conditions.
So I'm sorry, are you trying to say that Blacks thrive under subjugation?
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm asking you the question. The data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad. It was evil. But what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 Black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
If that's your explanation.
So Charlie flat out said that he did not believe that Black people thrived under subjugation. He flat out said that. But there are certain things as far as economics and crime, and they weren't talking about slavery, they're talking about under like Jim Crow in 1940s and stuff like that, where per capita and data that she agreed with that Black people were doing better in certain metrics. So he wants an explanation socially what has changed. Her explanation appeared to be the more you just oppress Black people over time, the more, I guess, violent and broke they're going to be. Charlie's explanation was the government is very bad at solving your problems, and socially, you have to have good family values and a family structure. Just because you disagree with Charlie Kirk doesn't make him a racist. He could be wrong about his data points. That doesn't make him racist. That makes him uninformed or misinformed. The people who are telling you that Charlie Kirk believed that Black people were better off in slavery, and they use this clip, they are lying to you. There's a lot of people, especially Black people, who are going on saying that Charlie Kirk is racist because he doesn't respect the intelligence of Black people. And then so many Black people do stupid stuff like this. If you have a real problem with Charlie Kirk, address real problems with Charlie Kirk. I disagreed with him all the time. I did. But when I have disagreements with him, I try to represent his argument accurately. Because if you don't, it either looks like, one, you were too dumb to understand them, or two, you're just dishonest and no one should trust you. And that obviously calls your integrity into question. Many of you, in your pursuit to destroy Charlie Kirk and to slander him, have made yourselves look like dang fools.